Hi all. Happy Easter. It's Marie-Louise here and I've just been joined by a cat. so that was a bit unexpected. But I wanted to pop in and talk about um, why I consider, just wrangle this cat, why I consider Easter to be a Happy New Year time. And I was raised Catholic, and I think that's got a little bit to do with it. I don't really do any Catholic stuff these days, but I always kind of get this feeling that Easter is in spring, because in the Northern Hemisphere it is in spring. And there are lots of, all the stories and, even all of our Easter traditions are all about little baby animals and little ducklings and little chicks and little bunnies. And so to me, it feels very new. It's all about rebirth in the Catholic department. Sorry, this cat's doing all sorts of stupid things here. And so to me, it's a chance to restart the year. So I consider it like a Happy New Year. I actually am not into New Year's when it's December and January. I'm not into that at all. It's never really been a big deal for me. I've never understood the going out. Like I get the going out, get the getting smashed, get the celebrating part, but I don't think we need one night in the year for that. And I think you can have that every Saturday if you want to, or every day if you want to. So New Year's Eve doesn't really do much for me, but I love Easter. Can you tell? I don't know. Can you tell? Yeah, I love Easter for all the good things, including chocolate, and the extra time that you can spend with your friends and your family and catch up with people. I've been really lucky this weekend to have spent some time with some fabulous women, all separately. And, obviously with COVID, it's been difficult to see anyone that you knew. And getting to spend time with some of these women now has been really fabulous. Some that I already knew, some who are new. So, it's a good time. But not only is it good for chocolate and all the catch-ups and stuff like that, but it's really good for our own development. And I see it as a chance to really get stuck into those, well, for lack of a better word, resolutions. So resolutions that you didn't really make stick at the start of the year, you can have another crack at. And really you can reassess and you can go, all right, well, I said I'd give up whatever, or I said I'd swim. I'm going to say this is for Adrian Pine. I'm going to swim 20 laps a day or whatever. And if you didn't achieve it, and he has been achieving his swimming goals, I'll have to tag him. If you didn't achieve the goals that you wanted to achieve, then just restart the year at Easter and give it another crack. Because if you get too far into the year and you haven't done it, it can be really hard to go, I still want to do that. And even harder to actually get started sometimes. This cat's driving me crazy. Just sit here for a second. He was trying to knock everything off my desk. So doing it at Easter means that it's like just restarting. You're only a couple of months behind. You're not that far behind. You can still use the rest of the year, in this case, April. Easter's in April this year. So, you've got a good 8 months to really, that's 9 really, to achieve what you want. It's not too late. You just have to sit and think about what you want, reassess the situation, and decide what you actually really want, what's worth going for. And as far as I'm concerned, when it comes to yourself, everything is worth going for. You don't have to sell yourself short. And I think, I'm here a lot talking to single women, obviously, and this is in terms of Happy New Year for Easter, that's applicable to everybody. You don't have to be a certain gender or, fit into a certain relationship status. You can just restart. So that's open to everybody. But in terms of single women, I know that sometimes we are selling ourselves short. We're listening to the voices in our heads, or the voice that somebody said something in years ago. I talked about self-esteem recently, and I believe that it can be one thing that one person said one time that can be our undoing. And I know that because I can remember specific occasions from when I was younger when somebody said something to me. And those words and the sound of that sentence are as clear to me today as they were back then. And that can really do your head in. And it's not good, obviously. So we can be trapped by the feeling of those words. What those words said, the way we felt at the time, we can go straight back to that at any stage, and that can screw us over. So we need to reframe the way we think about ourselves, start to realize that whatever happened on that one occasion when I was 5 isn't the person I am now. We've rebirthed, it's not the right phrase to say it, but we basically, we renew ourselves all the time. Every time we learn something new, we become a slightly different person. So imagine every time you've learned something new, or had a new experience, or made a new friend, or, started a new job, we've evolved in slight, tiny little ways millions of times over the years with every little experience, trying a new chocolate, trying something new. So we're not that person anymore. But that voice can sometimes be louder than the sum of all those experiences and all those changes. And that's a real shame. So think about how you've come so far from that one person who said that one thing when, I'm going to say it, they were having a bad day. They couldn't handle you that day, or they couldn't handle your antics, or they just didn't like what you said. That's on them. And it upsets me these days when I hear about people saying things to children. I was talking with my sister yesterday, and we were talking about a teacher, and I said, that sounds like the kind of person who would say to a child, you won't amount to much. And it's those words from an authority figure like a teacher that can make all the difference to how that person works out as an adult. And, I'm talking with women all the time who are scarred by comments like that, and who think they're not good enough, and they think they're not smart enough, and they can't achieve. But they can. But we have to undo all that crap. And I've had to do it as well. Like I said, I've got memories, very clear memories of things that people said to me. And it's all these reasons that I try really hard not to say things to people. Like, I am a straight up person. If I think you need to hear something, I'll say it. But it's very rarely, if you actually listen to the words, it's very rarely a nasty thing. It's not something like that. It'll be a constructive thing that if you can change your thinking on this or that, or this or that, that will be helpful. In the moment, it might not sound like that, but you got to think a little bit. You got to sort of take some of the emotion out of it and just listen to the words, and you'll hear actual constructive feedback and information. But the way we talk to each other is super important. Super important. And you've got to, when you're talking to other people, you don't know all the things that are in their head. And sometimes your statement can add to all the stuff that they've got in their head. It's not your fault. You're doing your best. You're always, I believe that I'm completely surrounded by people who are fabulous people who always have the best of intentions. But we don't know the little bits and pieces that are going on in someone's head. So we're always trying to be nice, we're always trying to be constructive and not be the person who did harm when we were younger and not add to that harm now. So if we can stop thinking like the person who was wounded back when we were 5 and start to think like the person we are now, who's come a long way and deserves more, is worth more, and has more. You have all this knowledge and experience, these ideas, these dreams. Why aren't you going for them? Just go for it. So, like I said, I'm here to help as many people as I can, but I am primarily helping single women these days. So I brought this concept up to my mailing list and actually put it on my Facebook page as well, because I think being able to restart the year is a huge benefit. Just got to think of it as a new start. And that can happen in so many ways. It can help with your diet, your health, whether you go for walks all the time or whether you like to exercise at all, or maybe you got to find a way that you do like. So, don't write off the year. Write off the last part, the part we've already had perhaps, but you've still got a beautiful year out in front of you that you can use to your advantage. If only you look at it with the right eyes. So if this sounds interesting to you and you think, well, that's an interesting way of thinking about it, what else has this chick got to say? Make sure you're following me. Make sure you get onto my page, which is Successfully Single Secrets. And I have got lots more wisdom to give to you if you want it. At the moment, I've actually got a downloadable checklist about feeling successfully single. And that's all about the various ways that we can feel like we're successful. And because I don't see single as a waiting room kind of thing. You don't have to be single just until you until you meet somebody. You can live a really freaking happy, fabulous life as a single. And guess what will attract somebody when and if you want them? That fabulous life that you're living. And in the meantime, how's the fabulousness? Like, you're rocking it. Why wouldn't you be happy? So get onto my page, leave a comment. I want to hear what you think about this. I know it's a different kind of concept, but that's what I'm all about. Putting out ideas that just make you think a little bit. And if you like it, then stay on board. All right, have a fabulous day, and I will catch you very soon. Bye.